So Saidjamshid JAFAROV makes his way to the ring, the bronze medalist for the 2023 World Amateur Championships at light middleweight. Saw him here in Russia in November of last year, picking up a 6-round unanimous decision over Dmitry. That was his first pro win as recognized by the Russian Commission and BoxRec. We also saw him in April in IBA pro action, picking up an 8-round majority decision over Talgat Shaikin. That was in April in Kazakhstan. Another Uzbek amateur standout embarking upon his pro journey continues tonight.
Boxer из России. Welcome to the Gold Corner from Russia, Dmitry Zakharov.
The multi-time Russian national amateur champion, 4 times in total, Dmitry Zakharov makes his way to the ring. In an aggressive start to his IBA pro career in terms of matchmaking in June of last year as he took on Laquan Wong. He was 8-2 as a pro, and has recently faced the Thai Wonder Boy Sankar-Tees in Dubai. Zakharov for the 6-round unanimous decision over him. He is going right back into the fire tonight against the world bronze medalist, Jimmy JAFAROV. Here in our final bout before we set the table for our co-feature and main event tonight.
Fighting out of the black corner. Ему 26 лет, рост 180 сантиметров, вес 70 и 95 сотых килограмма. Его профессиональный рекорд – 1 бой, в котором он одержал победу. Ladies and gentlemen, he's 26 years old, standing 180 centimeters tall, weighing at 70.95 kilos. His professional record – 1 bout, 1 victory. Он серебряный призер чемпионата мира и 2-кратный чемпион Азии. Ladies and gentlemen, World Championship Silver Prize winner and Asia Championship 2-time winner. Из Бухары, Узбекистан, приветствуйте, Saidjamshid Jimmy JAFAROV. Его соперник в золотом углу. His opponent fighting out of the gold corner. Ему 22 года, рост 178 сантиметров, вес 70,9 килограмма. Профессиональный рекорд точно такой же, как у соперника. 1 бой, 1 победа. Ladies and gentlemen, he's 22 years old. He stands 178 centimeters tall, weighing at 70.9 kilograms. His professional record exactly the same of opponent. 1 bout, 1 win. Он победитель чемпионата России 2019 по 22 год и 2023 года. He's Championship Russia winner 2019, 22 and 2023 из Нижнефартовска, Россия. Приветствуйте его, Дмитрий Zakharov.
Gentlemen, head up, no holding, no logo. Shaker, good luck.
Can we take a look at the tail of the tape for this one? The 22-year-old Dmitry Zakharov taking on Jimmy JAFAROV. Really fascinating matchup here, and this is the intrigue of IBA pro boxing. In a normal setting, you would never see fighters who have had the amateur pedigree, the recent amateur pedigree of Zakharov and JAFAROV facing one another this early in their pro careers. I mentioned JAFAROV's bronze at the World Amateur Championships in 2023. Zakharov still very active on the amateur circuit himself. He took home gold at the World Cup of Petroleum Countries in 2024. He beat out very talented field at super welterweight in that one. seeing the style matchup here in the early going. The smart, technical, compact pressure of Dmitry Zakharov and that long-range counter-punching style of Jimmy JAFAROV. His left hand on the entry there from Zakharov. Looking off the jab there. It's that lead hand of JAFAROV that will really determine this fight. If Zakharov can get past it, he could fight through the windshield wipers, so to speak. He'll be able to have success here tonight, but if JAFAROV can keep him at bay with that lead hand, it could be a long night for Zakharov. Zakharov trying to come down the middle with the right hand. He switches things up, a nice 2-1, that left hand connected. Good start for Zakharov altogether. Kind of left hand to the body there from JAFAROV. A frequent competitor here in the IBA. We mentioned that win over Taigan Saikin in Kazakhstan. Made his IBA pro debut all the way back in 2022, and really the infancy of the IBA pro circuit. Dropped a decision to double world champion Yoenli Hernandez of Cuba. Hernandez has since left Cuba and is now a sparkling prospect on the verge of being a contender in the near future, so no shame in that loss. JAFAROV also became the IBA's Asian champion with a win over Sawan Okazawa in Dubai in 2023. Okazawa, of course, representative of Japan at the Olympics. So JAFAROV been taking nothing but tough assignments. He's been up to the task each and every time, and now, after tying his shoelaces, starting to come alive in the late stages of this round, doing some of his best work of round one.
Round 2.
A very competitive opening round in the books from Dmitry Zakharov and Jimmy JAFAROV. Zakharov trying to up the pressure here in round 2. Steps in with a couple good right hands. Zakharov, one of those men for whom boxing is certainly not a necessity. Zakharov actually passed a college history course when he was in just the 9th grade. An avid chess player, an avid reader of Jack London. He's bilingual. He says he doesn't have any apps on his phone. He deleted Instagram so that he could play more chess. Zakharov approaches boxing like a chess match, trying to stay one move ahead. Very tricky Saidjamshid JAFAROV here tonight. He's picking up the tempo on his end as well. Length of the footwork of JAFAROV can be very, very problematic. just how far that lead hand of Jafarov is extended, and that's one of the unfortunate conceits of fighting someone like Jafarov, is you have to be willing to throw more than one shot to get to the inside, and in fact, you probably have to be willing to get touched by that lead hand of Jafarov to get in there, unless you can make some kind of a defensive move. For a fighter like Zakharov, who's fairly analytical, the challenge for him mentally will be being willing to do something that might feel like a mistake, to take a shot so that he can get to the inside. More broadly speaking, that really describes what the challenge is in adapting from the amateur style to a more pure pro style, as Zakharov finds a solution there a moment ago with the 2-1, snapping the head back of Jafarov with a nice left hand. Jafarov comes back with a nice shot to the body. Seconds tick away, and Jafarov with a big left hand to the body. He thinks that Zakharov might have felt that one. What a way to wrap up the round for the pride of Uzbekistan.
Round 3.
Round 3 begins. Saidjamshid Jafarov with an excellent final 30 seconds of that round 2. Might have stolen the round from Zakharov. Coming out aggressively here in round 2, as is Zakharov. Zakharov trying to make adjustments here. What we were talking about in the previous round. Zakharov is leading with that right hand a little bit more than trying to step in with the left hand. Kind of doing what we were talking about. Again, conceding that he might get hit, but you take one to land two. Because it seems that winning the battle at long range, trying to outbox Jafarov from out here, is going to be a losing battle. And also Jafarov is just too nimble and too athletic to allow Zakharov to work on the inside for any extended period of time. Zakharov being forced to make some major adjustments here. Jafarov just misses. The beautiful counter right hook over the top. Fight something there from Zakharov, swings underneath. Head movement of Jafarov, swings to the outside, and something to the body. Very obvious display of confidence here. The native of Bukhara, Uzbekistan. Zakharov right now just eating pop shot jabs. Jafarov swimming without getting wet here for the vast majority of round 3 with his hands at his side. really dazzling Zakharov here in the third. Big left hand over the top there from Jafarov. And he comes back with a sharp jab right before the bell. Beautiful round of boxing there from Jimmy Jafarov.
Tepat-tepat kita sih kamu pemain aktif kamu. Batu jitu sudah malam bahasa kami gini. Saras tepat-tepat kita pas mikro. Sisi kita merasa. Batu jitu atas mikro. Ada? Kau nanti.
Round 4.
Head up, okay? Head up.
Round 4 now underway between Dmitry Zakharov and Saidjamshid Jimmy Jafarov. Super welterweight prospects, two high-level amateurs for their respective countries of Russia and Uzbekistan. Dmitry Zakharov, you know, you'll often hear fighters say they don't watch tape, and usually the explanation is that they don't want to perhaps expect habits from their opponent that won't be there on fight nights. First, just leave that team strategist within their camps. But Zakharov says he doesn't watch boxing at all. Once in a while, he'll see clips. He was asked about a year ago what one of his dream fights would be, and he said, maybe one day I'd like to fight Jermell Charlo, but I think he's probably going to be too old by the time that would be realistic. Zakharov struggling to come up with names that he'd like to fight in the future because he's really just focused on his own career, which has plenty of promise. Tonight, finding a lot of difficulty with the style of Jimmy Jafarov. Step in with that right hand. Body work from Jafarov, immediate reply. Jafarov just controlling the tempo of this fight thus far. Crowd in Moscow trying to will Zakharov to turn the tide. One vulnerability we have seen in Jafarov, and it showed itself against Sawan Okazawa in that IBA Asian Championship fight. Jafarov can be vulnerable to uppercuts at times. Jafarov, as you can see, likes to lean in, likes to bend at the waist. Fighters like him feel that it gives him a little bit more fluidity, a little bit better vision, but it can leave him vulnerable to big shots. We haven't really seen Zakharov offer up too many uppercuts thus far, but if we are entering the territory, a territory of desperation where Zakharov needs a knockout or a parade of knockdowns, that might be a shot he might want to look for. Instead, he eats a 1-2 right down the pipe from Jafarov as we come to the end of the round.
Tretий раунд. Round 5.
Just 2 to go in this one. 6-round affair between Dmitry Zakharov and Jimmy Jafarov. Originally, this was scheduled for 8, so a truncated affair here for Zakharov and Jafarov, who, in all likelihood, can train for a longer contest here tonight. You have to think they have plenty left in the tank for these final 2 rounds. Introducing more body work as the rounds have gone on. Zakarov competed at the very first IBA Champions Night in Dubai in 2022. On the inside there from Jafarov. We talk about uppercuts. Now, those could be a potential vulnerability for Jafarov. Well, how about that? 2 uppercuts popping the head back of Zakharov. 2 nice right uppercuts from the Uzbek. Good chopping right hand there from Zakharov. Take a look back at that one. I believe that Jafarov was complaining about that being behind the head. I don't think it was. Might have been the best shot of the fight landed by Zakharov. Zakharov trying to fire back with the left hand down the pipe. Zakharov picking up the foot pressure here in round 5. Zafarov very comfortable working out of the corner like that, just kind of planting his feet and ripping counters to the body. And you can see, even in these moments where Zakharov is having more success, you can see the hesitance that Jafarov has kind of beat into him in this fight. Zakharov with an opportunity, his opponent back against the corner pad, and still hesitant to let his hands go. That is the handiwork, the counter-punching ability of Jafarov materializing in a negative way for Zakharov in the most crucial moments of this fight.
Ja kada skitimi ishkamba tutaj zadyku, zuz puszczał.
Зараз сарме грози, последний раунд. Получили?
Minus kapat parmekrat. Ana mu fight bazmi jang ballis naku, naku, rapta naku. Anmi.
Последний раунд будет на ход.
Давай, бача.
Давай, идем на последний раунд.
Шестой. Заключительный раунд. Round 6. The final round.
Final round now underway. Jimmy Jafarov goes right back downstairs to the body, where he's been having some success as of late. Dmitry Zakharov may need at least a very big round here in the 6th. And it's possible, particularly that Big chopping right hand in round 5. Maybe the judges remember that most. Maybe he picks up round 5 if he can find another round for him. Perhaps Zakharov close the gap here in the 6th round. Again, you never know what the scorecards look like. As we mentioned in the last bout, we've seen many times where the fighter merely by moving forward, and in some judges' eyes forcing the fight in doing so, that gets weighted significantly and they come away the victor in fights that otherwise could have been scored the other way. From my vantage point, probably take an entirely different perspective on this fight for Zakharov to come away the victor, as he eats a nice combination there from JAFAROV, who again works through the middle with those uppercuts that we suggested perhaps he could be vulnerable to. Now putting them in his own arsenal with less than a minute left to go in this contest. Step back counter there from JAFAROV. Zakharov was kind of languishing on the outside a little bit, then took a risk. Got out in front of his front foot, and JAFAROV made him pay immediately. And there again, that time with the left hand to the body, and again these uppercuts through the middle, snapping the head back of Zakharov. A tremendous offensive display from the Uzbek in the 6th and final round. And if indeed Zakharov needed this last round, I don't think he got it. High-level stuff, though, from Zakharov and JAFAROV. You see a look of acknowledgement, maybe disappointment on the face of Denis Lebedev, the former world champion. He's been here rooting on his countrymen. Looks like the decision is in. Let's send it down to the center of the ring to find out the winner.
завершении 6-раундового боя раздельным решением судей победу одержал. Ladies and gentlemen, after the end of action, your winner by split decision, Saidjamshid Jimmy JAFAROV, Uzbekistan. И аплодисменты его сопернику Дмитрию Закharovу.
So Jimmy JAFAROV will leave with the split decision victory. We get 2 straight wins for him in Russia. tough night for Dmitry Zakharov, a style